Eve was created from Adam's rib. True, according to Genesis 2:21-22, Eve was created from one of Adam's ribs. Sarah laughed when she heard she would have a child in her old age. True, Sarah laughed in disbelief when she heard she would bear a child in her old age. Genesis 18:12. Esther was a queen of Egypt. False. Esther was a queen of Persia, not Egypt. Ruth was originally from Moab. True, Ruth was a Moabite woman who became the great-grandmother of King David, Ruth 1:4. Mary Magdalene was the mother of Jesus. False. Mary Magdalene was a follower of Jesus, but Mary, the wife of Joseph, was Jesus' mother. Deborah was the only female judge of Israel mentioned in the Bible. True, Deborah was the only female judge in Israel's history as recorded in Judges 4:5. Jezebel was the wife of King Ahab of Israel. True, Jezebel was the wife of King Ahab and is known for her wickedness and idolatry. 1 Kings 16:31. Abigail prevented David from committing murder. True, Abigail wisely intervened to prevent David from killing her husband Nabal and others. 1 Samuel 25:23-35. Hannah was the mother of Samuel. True, Hannah prayed earnestly for a child and became the mother of Samuel the prophet. 1 Samuel 1:20. Gomer was Hosea's faithful wife. False. Gomer, the wife of Hosea, was unfaithful, symbolizing Israel's unfaithfulness to God. Hosea 1:2. The Shunammite woman built a room for Elisha the prophet. True, the Shunammite woman provided a room for Elisha whenever he passed through her town. 2 Kings 4:8-10. Naomi was Ruth's daughter-in-law. False. Naomi was Ruth's mother-in-law. Ruth 1:4-5. Bathsheba was originally married to Uriah the Hittite. True, Bathsheba was the wife of Uriah before she became David's wife. 2 Samuel 11:3. Priscilla was a tent maker like her husband, Aquila. True, Priscilla and Aquila were both tent makers and co-workers with Paul, Acts 18:2-3. Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt. True, Lot's wife looked back at Sodom and was turned into a pillar of salt. Genesis 19:26. The woman who touched Jesus' garment was healed of her blindness. False. The woman was healed of her issue of blood when she touched Jesus' garment. Mark 5:25-29. Martha is known for choosing to listen to Jesus while Mary was busy. False. Martha was busy with preparations while Mary chose to listen to Jesus. Luke 10:38-42. Lydia was the first convert to Christianity in Europe. True, Lydia, a seller of purple, was the first European convert to Christianity. Acts 16:14-15. Hagar was Sarah's maidservant who bore Abraham a son. True, Hagar was the maidservant of Sarah who bore Abraham's son Ishmael. Genesis 16:1-4. Rachel was Jacob's first wife. False, Leah was Jacob's first wife, not Rachel. Genesis 29:23-25. Rebekah helped Jacob deceive Isaac to receive the blessing. True, Rebekah helped Jacob deceive Isaac to receive the blessing meant for Esau. Genesis 27:5-17. Queen Vashti refused to appear before King Xerxes. True, Queen Vashti refused to appear before King Xerxes, leading to her removal as Queen Esther 1:12. Mary and Martha were the sisters of Lazarus. True, Mary and Martha were the sisters of Lazarus, whom Jesus raised from the dead. John 11:1-2. Sapphira was struck dead for lying to the Holy Spirit. True, Sapphira, along with her husband Ananias, was struck dead for lying to the Holy Spirit. Acts 5:1-10. Zipporah was the daughter of Pharaoh. False, Zipporah was the daughter of Jethro, a Midianite priest, and the wife of Moses. Exodus 2:21. Jael killed Sisera by driving a tent peg through his temple. True, Jael killed Sisera by driving a tent peg through his temple, as recorded in Judges 4:21. Rahab hid the Israelite spies in Jericho. True, Rahab, a prostitute in Jericho, hid the Israelite spies and helped them escape. Joshua 2:1-6. Eve was the first woman to bear twins in the Bible. False, Rebekah, not Eve, was the first woman in the Bible to bear twins, Esau and Jacob. Genesis 25:24. Dinah was Jacob's only daughter mentioned by name in the Bible. True, Dinah was Jacob's only daughter mentioned by name in the Bible. Genesis 30:21. Tamar disguised herself as a prostitute to deceive Judah. True, Tamar disguised herself as a prostitute to deceive Judah, her father-in-law. Genesis 38:14-15. The Samaritan woman at the well had 5 husbands. True, the Samaritan woman Jesus met at the well had 5 husbands. John 4:16-18. Miriam was struck with leprosy for speaking against Moses. True, Miriam was struck with leprosy for speaking against Moses, but she was later healed. Numbers 12:10. The widow of Zarephath provided for Elijah during a famine. True, the widow of Zarephath provided food for Elijah during a famine, as recorded in 1 Kings 17:9-16. Michal was the wife of King Saul. False. Michal was the daughter of King Saul and the wife of David. 1 Samuel 18:20-27. The woman who anointed Jesus' feet was named Mary. True Mary, the sister of Lazarus, anointed Jesus' feet with expensive perfume. John 12:3. Delilah was Samson's wife. False. Delilah was not Samson's wife, but the woman who betrayed him. Judges 16:4-18. Phoebe was a deaconess in the church at Cenchreae. True, Phoebe was a deaconess in the church at Cenchreae, mentioned in Romans 16:1. Anna was a prophetess who recognized Jesus as the Messiah when he was an infant. True, Anna, a prophetess, recognized Jesus as the Messiah when he was presented in the temple as an infant. Luke 2:36-38. Leah was loved more by Jacob than Rachel. False. Jacob loved Rachel more than Leah, as mentioned in Genesis 29:30. The woman with the alabaster jar of perfume was Mary Magdalene. False. The woman with the alabaster jar is not explicitly identified as Mary Magdalene in the Bible. Mark 14:3-9. Pilate's wife warned him not to harm Jesus. True, Pilate's wife warned him in a dream to have nothing to do with condemning Jesus. Matthew 27:19. Eunice, the mother of Timothy, was praised for her faith. True, Eunice, the mother of Timothy, was praised by Paul for her sincere faith. 2 Timothy 1:5. Jezebel was thrown out of a window and eaten by dogs. True, Jezebel was thrown out of a window and eaten by dogs, fulfilling Elijah's prophecy. 2 Kings 9:33-36. Orpah followed Naomi back to Bethlehem. False. Orpah chose to stay in Moab, while Ruth followed Naomi back to Bethlehem. Ruth 1:14-15. The virtuous woman described in Proverbs 31 is named Esther. False. The virtuous woman in Proverbs 31 is not named. She is an idealized description of a godly wife. The Syrophoenician woman asked Jesus to heal her demon-possessed daughter. True, the Syrophoenician woman asked Jesus to heal her daughter, and her request was granted. Mark 7:25-30. Deborah prophesied that a woman would defeat Sisera. True, Deborah prophesied that Sisera would be defeated by a woman, which was fulfilled by Jael, Judges 4:9. The Canaanite woman who spoke to Jesus called him son of David. True, the Canaanite woman referred to Jesus as son of David when asking him to heal her daughter, Matthew 15:22. Rebecca was barren for 20 years before she had children. True, Rebecca was barren for 20 years before giving birth to Esau and Jacob, Genesis 25:20-26. The Proverbs 31 woman's worth is described as more valuable than rubies. True, the Proverbs 31 woman is described as having worth far more than rubies, Proverbs 31:10.